Hi future homeowners, today we're on the mission to unveil the mysteries that surrounds the home buying process. If you have ever wondered what are the hidden costs of buying a house, you are in the right place. We are about to dive deep into the world of real estate, exposing those sneaky expenses that might catch you off guard. But don't worry, we have your back. Let's jump into it and ensure your home buying process becomes as smooth as possible. Ready? Let's go into it. Whether you're a first-time buyer or you're a seasoned pro, the road to home ownership is filled with twists and turns. The home loan is not the only expense that you will incur when you are purchasing a property. There's a whole world of hidden costs waiting to be uncovered. But fear not, because by the end of this video, you will be armed with the knowledge to navigate the real estate landscape like a pro. The main ones that you will need to be aware of are the bond registration cost and the transfer cost. But hang on, wouldn't it be very lovely if the price tag on your new home was all that you had to pay? In reality, there are several hidden costs and some that are not so hidden with the home buying process that you will need to incur. Here are some of the major expenses to help you prepare and factor them into your budget before you even decide to buying your property. So we are about to talk about 7 major expenses that you need to be aware of before you even decide to buy a property so that you can be ready for them. The first one is the bond registration cost and the transfer cost. These are the biggest costs that home buyers must be aware and must budget for because they are unavoidable. The only way to avoid them is when you buy a new property sold by a developer, of which these costs are already included on the price. Otherwise, they are unavoidable. So what is the bond registration fee, right? So those are the costs that are paid to the attorney who registers the bond in the buyer's name. But you must know that these attorneys are appointed by the bank. And then the transfer costs are the cost or the fees that are paid to the conveyancing attorney who transfers the bond from the current owner to you as the new homeowners. The conveyancing attorney is appointed by the seller of that property, right? So what is included as part of the bond registration cost and the transfer cost is what is called transfer duty. So transfer duty is a tax, right? It's a tax on the property, right? So, but there's a threshold in which you will be exempt to pay that tax. If the property that you are buying is priced less than 1.1 million, then you will not you shouldn't pay the tax, right? But if it's above 1.1 million, then you will pay that transfer duty, right? All these costs are dependent on the value of the property. So if the value of the property is priced higher, then this cost will be higher because they are charged as a percentage of the purchase price, right? If the purchase price is lower, also these prices will be lower. As I said, they are charged as a percentage of the purchase price. So the second cost is moving cost. You have bought the place and now you are going to have to move into that property. Depending on where you have been living and how much furniture you already own, you might have to hire a moving company to get into your new house, right? So it is advisable to obtain a couple of quotes to compare the cost and determine the insurance cover provided for your possessions while in transit. So the cost can be anywhere between 5,000 to 15,000 in the same city, but most companies offer a discount if you move in the week and in the middle of the month when the demand is much lower. So moving cost is the second cost that you need to be aware of. So the third cost is repairs and maintenance. You may still have to spend some money on fixing some defects that are on the house, right? So you'll find that there's defects that are only become evident after the property is bought, and the seller is not obligated to fix the latent defects, right? So you need to actually carry some money, balance it in advance so that you're able to fix these things, right? Even after the seller has fixed pattern defect, you probably still have to do some cleaning, some repainting, and other miscellaneous repairs. So you need to be prepared for that, right? Because if a property is pre-owned, there will be some stuff that will wear and tear over time. So you need to be ready for that. The fourth expense is utilities. If you are buying a freehold property and not a sectional one, you will need to register for your water and for your electricity connection, right? And your telephone and your internet lines, also that you will need. The costs vary from area to area, and the internet fee will depend on the type of connection that you want, right? So whether the relevant lines are already installed or not, that you need to find out already when you're doing your viewings or stuff like this, so that you are already prepared for the cost that you'll incur on these charges, right? The fifth expense will be rates and levies, right? If you have purchased a freehold property, you will have to pay the rates and taxes, right? So which can be anywhere from the couple of hundred to a few thousand rand per month, depending on the value of your property and the area, right? The rates cover the sewage usage and the garbage removal, while taxes are calculated against the value of your property. But on the other hand, you should ask for these values, right? Because they stay the same throughout the month. Each month they stay the same. You should ask your estate agent to tell you about them, how much they should be, so that you can budget for them, because they stay the same. However, if you are buying a sectional property, in addition to rates and taxes, you will have to pay levies, right? So the levy that you pay are for the general upkeep of the buildings, because levies are normally used to maintain the common areas inside complexes. So that's what you will need to be prepared for, right? The second last expense is security. When you are buying a new home, it's a good idea to assess the security of the other houses in the area, right? Find out about the crime rates from the local police station, and then update your own security systems accordingly. You'll have to budget for an armed response fee as well, right? Like ADT or whatever the company's name is. It's what we call home insurance, right? The bank will insist that you will have a home insurance in place to cover any structural damage to the property, right? Also, you need to know that your possessions are not covered in this insurance. So it's a good idea to explore the cost of additional policy to cover you in terms of theft if somebody comes in your house and steal your stuff, right? So the most important thing is to know what you can afford. Knowing the true cost of a home helps you to budget accordingly, and what will help you even more is knowing what home you can afford in the first place. Because so many people, they have their dream houses, but for those dream houses, they cannot currently afford them. So you need to align your budget and your needs, right? So you can determine this by getting pre-qualified. This will assess your financial status and tell you exactly how much you can afford for your home loan, right? So that you can house hunt with confidence. Don't forget to share, to like, and subscribe, right, on this channel. Until next time, it is the Big Elephant, Dokuria Manenje. Cheers. I'm out.